Can I finish with two questions? The first, you just said it, you don't do old. You own and run businesses.
Yeah.
Would you appoint a CEO who was 78? You
Yeah.
give you
Oh, yeah.
a medical.
Some of this, yeah, I would. Depends on this. I'd make people like Biden, who's in bad shape. I wouldn't appoint him. He's 81 or 82. He's 4 years older. But I'd appoint. I know some of the smartest people I know. I know a man that made all of his money from the time he was 80 to 90, and he was a failure all his life. He was in the drinks business, the different.
Strangely, you didn't bring this up but you were running against Joe Biden.
No, I never attacked him for his age. In fact, I used to defend him on his age. I attacked him for his lack of competence.
I've asked you all these questions.
No, I never did. By the way, just because I think it's important, and I know you do too, I know so many people in their 80s that are among. Bernie Marcus is 95, the founder of Home Depot. You have that conversation with him. He's just as sharp as you mentally. He's just as sharp as he ever was. He's 95. I can tell you that in their 90s, I don't want to get into the 90s stuff, but you know what? I know many people in their 80s. I know guys in their 80s that won't leave the company, like family companies where they don't want the kids to take over, because they're much more competent than their kids. I know them both, right? So, no, I would have no problem. And you do have another factor. You know, we've had some of our great...
On the Supreme Court, you just said...
Some of our great world leaders are in the 80s. And if you look throughout history, some of our greatest world leaders were in their 80s. No, that would bother me. But, you know, I took 2 cognitive tests, and I aced them both. I think that, frankly, people, regardless, should take... If they're 50 or 40, I think people should take cognitive tests, not because of the age, but because of something else. Now, here's the problem. They say it's unconstitutional, okay? But I would love to see cognitive tests. I don't think she could pass a cognitive test. I mean, I've watched. I don't think she could pass a cognitive test.
President Trump, you've gone over many issues on this.
We've covered a lot of territory.
I asked you many questions about things. One thing I haven't asked at all about is the state of the race.
Yeah.
I had a question for you. On election night, which state would you look at first? Which state do you think this race is going to be decided by?
So they say Pennsylvania, I would say most. I think we're doing very well there. I think you look at Michigan, too, and I'm doing very well there. You know, we don't have to look necessarily. The votes are starting to come in now. So you look at polls, but you can also look at the votes that are being cast right now. People get a pretty good indication. And based, as we discussed backstage, you know, based on the votes that are coming in so far, we're doing very well. I mean, we're way up in Pennsylvania. We're way up in Michigan. We're doing very well in Arizona. I saw Arizona. In fact, somebody said they're going to pull the plug in Arizona. They're going to give it up because it looks like we're quite a ways ahead. I think we're doing well. Look, this is a party, the Republican Party, of common sense. Forget about conservative, liberal. We're, let's say conservative, but we're really a party of, we need borders. We need fair elections. We don't want men playing in women's sports. We don't want transgender operations without parental consent. You know, there's so many things, but it's 99.9% is common sense. It really is common sense. And I like to say it. I don't know if anyone said it in the past, but I say we're really a party of common sense. And we want to have great people in our country. I want to have a lot of people come in so that you have your choice and so that they have choice. I want to, you know, I have a good heart. I have a heart where I want people to be taken care of. But I don't want to take in people where millions of people, 21 million people at least, have come in the last 3.5 years, unvetted, unchecked. We don't know anything about